Bear me one moment, my door has just swung open mysteriously. Right. Good evening, early morning, whatever way you want to look at it. So I'm awake. Some of you will know what I mean. I've fallen asleep a couple of times this week, putting the boys to bed. So we've got a couple of Facebook Live short of my weekly quota of 5. But it's late. I may not get a lot of people watching this live, but you can watch this recorded. This is David Daniels, aka the Shy Man. This is a part of a 3-part series that I've been doing. Wasn't intentional actually to do a series. Basically, it was in response to someone who asked me to do a Facebook Live on relationships, and it worked out that I've ended up breaking it into 3 parts because 3 significant kind of relationships and lessons that hopefully you guys can take from that. So the first one was on the relationship with my father, which has been pretty much non-existent, but I'll talk about that, some of that journey. The second one was on breakups. Evening, James. How you doing, sir? Thank you for joining me. James, I watched some of your videos, and I thought you only had a couple. You've done like I don't know, 20, 30 of them. Good work, good work. So the second one was on. What was it on? It was on breakups. Yeah, James was watching that one. You probably agree with me. That was quite a deep one. One particular relationship I had that had a significant impact on my life. So I'll talk about that. And today, my part is about rejection. And I want to talk one particular incident in my life. Oh, James, you can't hear me properly. Is that any better, James? It's probably me subconsciously keeping a quiet voice so I don't wake up the boys upstairs. Hope that's a bit better for you. So yeah, tonight is part 3, which is talking about rejection. And I'm sure this is something we've all experienced. And for me, growing up, being shy, rejection was like the ultimate. I did not want to be rejected. I was so fearful to the point that I wasn't living my life at its fullest. Rejection was just like, it's just like the ultimate, like, I don't know, nail if you like in the coffin. It's something I ran away from. It's something I did not want to seek. Any way of avoiding it, I would, because none of us like to be rejected. But if you probably don't know already, there will be times where you'll be rejected in some shape or form. So get used to it, learn how to deal with it, and move on in life. But at a young age, rejection was just like that big no-no. I don't want to get rejected. It means me not coming into my shell, etc., etc., trying to be invisible, trying not to be noticed in the public. And that was me. I hated rejection. So yeah, one particular. Oh, thank you, Nana. Nana's joined. Enjoyed your Facebook Live video. Big support of yours, what you're doing. Hope the meeting went well with Mr. Cummins. So yeah, one particular incident in my life, and like when you look back on stuff, I talked about this in my part 2. When you look back on stuff, it's very, very different to when you're living it out at the time. The raw emotion is not there. I'm a kind of person, and if you are, that I kind of tend to deal with the next thing. So for a quick example, my wife is already thinking about holidays for 2018, and like for me, it's like when I'm on the flight, that's when the holiday begins. And God bless her, she runs around, does all the preparation and what have you. But me, I'm always thinking about the next step ahead. I have an eye on the future, but I'm very much of a person. I prepare for the next thing, which is in front of me. And when I have that, I keep going and you tend to forget about things, which is why I'm going to start journaling stuff and diarising stuff, significant events and feelings in my life and how I felt. So when I can look back on them, I can think, oh yeah, I remember that. Like I'm not shy anymore. introverted, yes, but I'm not shy. I know I've moved past that, but I'm not the same. Nana put it really well. Something about a snake shedding skins. I've shed a lot of skins. So um, David Daniels 15, 20 years ago had a completely different skin to the one I've got now. But I'm still the same person. I'm still David Daniels. People who see me now may see me as confident. I remember this girl in a nightclub called me arrogant once. I was back in my shy days. I just used to observe people and watch people in the nightclub. And this girl must have, trying to think of it from her point of view, she must have seen me there, maybe standoffish, maybe looking like I was above all that. And she came up to me and she said that I was arrogant, and she couldn't be further from the truth. So people see you different. So people in my life now, the people who have been around my life, don't know what I was like. They may find it hard to believe. They may think that I'm possibly lying, or I'm motivated by playing this game. But it's not a game. And if you speak to the people early in my life, they will tell you. My mum will tell you how shy I was. It's not a joke, but sometimes we can forget where we've come from, which is one of the reasons why I call myself the shy man. And a lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing is going to be tagged under the shy man. Like I've got Twitter, trying to get into Twitter, and Shyman Speaks is kind of the name for it. Everything I'm kind of doing on my own, kind of shy man, because it's just a reminder to me that it was a part of my life, a significant part of my life. Nana touched on it a lot in his Facebook Live earlier. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. He touched on it more eloquently than I have. So yeah, this incident in my life, it's kind of vague, but still, it's something that really affected me deep in my subconscious. Really affected me. So right, let's go with it. So yeah, very shy growing up. Like girls, like most boys my age did, but didn't know how to. Because I didn't love myself, I didn't know myself. For me to have someone else be in a relationship with, and that it was, I was learning to be in a relationship with myself first and foremost, rather than bring someone else. But obviously, was always attracted to the other sex, the female sex. So I can't remember. I know this was in junior school, but forgive me, I can't remember exactly what age it was. So I liked this girl. She lived in my estate. She went to the same school with me. We had conversations here and there. But conversation was a very difficult thing for me to engage in conversation, to engage in small talk, to engage in eye contact, all the things we need to be good communicators. All those things you need, you could say, for public speaking: eye contact, body language, tone of voice, etc., etc. So, but yeah, I fancied this girl. And I let one of my cousins, older cousins, live with me at the time. She was living in the house with us, and again, details are hazy, but she came to find out that I liked this girl, and we used to play. Hi Caroline, how you doing? James, actually, I better take your advice. James is telling me about a website. Yeah, I've looked into that. I need your advice on that. Registering a domain name and all the rest of it. I've got when I do step out into my own business, which I believe I will, I've already got names and things in mind. So yeah, we used to play downstairs. So you got envisage. I used to live in a council block. It was four floors high, and downstairs they built like a not turf, like a hi Caroline, like almost like an astroturf, but it was a square. We used to call it the square. How imaginative we were, and we used to play football in there, and there were some benches we'd run around. But that was our play area. That was our garden as such, because living in flats we didn't have any gardens. You're fortunate if you had a balcony. So that was, and for parents, my mum could just look out the balcony and could see where we are, often telling us when it's time to come upstairs. But it was kind of like a safe place. There was cars parked around, and playing football, cars around. Yeah, you can guess the rest. Hitting cars, alarms going off, blah blah blah. But it was kind of like our safe haven to go play. We used to hang out there, me and my friends next door and what have you. And this girl lived on the bottom floor, the ground floor. And so, yeah, we'd see her around, whatever. It came, my cousin found out that I liked this girl. And she took it upon herself to tell her that I liked her. And I was like, that was just, I did not want anyone to know. I didn't want her to know I liked her. But yeah, she took it upon herself to inform this young lady that I liked her. And forgive me, I can't remember all the details. The thing that sticks out in my head is that somehow or other we ended up on the third floor where I lived, and I was crouched down on the balcony, and she was talking to me, and I was like, she basically told me she didn't like me. She didn't like me in that way. And I can't remember all the details, but I was kind of like crouched up. It's kind of like I didn't want to. I was too shy to like. I was just so self-conscious that firstly she had found out, and then secondly, obviously came the rejection that she didn't like me in that way. So I was put myself. Well, my cousin put me out there, not me. But the rejection came back. I didn't get the response. I wanted twofold. So one, something I didn't want to be shared because of the fear of rejection was shared, and secondly, I got the rejection. So I was crouching down, not wanting to hear this, not wanting to see her, not make eye contact with her. She was telling me probably something like, I like her as a friend, but not in that way, blah 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 blah. Hey Lucia, thank you for joining. Not in that way. And I didn't. I was just. I can't remember exactly how that felt. I can imagine how it felt because obviously the moment's long past. But that was just a defining moment. As Nana put in his last video, I'm going to use Nana because he was just talking about things that were on my mind. A defining moment in my life, and I think literally since that day, I was in junior school, so it would have been anywhere from the age up until 10, 11. Since that day, I have not spoken to this girl. I've not spoken to her at all. The few times I did see her, I would do my very best to avoid her. We have not. Actually, going back, I actually remember soon afterwards. I think one of my say someone in my class who used to bully me. He saw my weakness. He saw how shy and introverted I was, and he picked up on that and he bullied me. Now when I see him, and I haven't seen him in a long time, I'm kind of on a level. I know I'm confident in myself, whatever, so we can talk and have a conversation. Obviously, he's older and a bit more wiser as well. But yeah, he was one of my main bullies. I had, I don't know, it was a compliment. I had more than one bully at that time. I had about at least three. I say 2.5 because there was one. He was like, he used to hang around with them, but he was a friend to me as well. So yeah, but this guy was one of the main ones, and he found out about it, and then he started taking a mickey at me and blah blah blah. And I remember being in assembly, we was practicing. It must have been one of my later years actually, because I think we was practicing for like a end of year concert celebration before we moved up to high school, secondary school. So it must have been what they now call year 6. So yeah, it must have been about 9, 10, or what have you. And I remember being in an assembly practicing for this concert, and I was crying. I don't know if word got round in that actual assembly or practice, and all I could do was cry, just cry and cry. And she was there as well, the girl was there as well, and can't remember what happened after that in terms of I standing in the classroom, what have you. But yeah, to that day, we have not spoken. We have not spoken at all. And like I said, a few times I would see her. I'd do all I can to avoid her, stay as far away from her as possible. She moved away. She's doing very well in what she's doing now. And we haven't spoken. I did not want to enter that conversation with her. Didn't want that awkwardness It's kind of like, do you know what I mean? What do I say? The girl I like doesn't want to know me. She doesn't want to know me, but she doesn't want to know me in that way. Fine to talk about it now. It's almost like I'm talking about something else and isolate that. That impact is not as strong as it once was, and that's the thing with time. Time can be a great healer. Time changes the way we think about things. Um, so many aspects of time. So yeah, that was and I've been rejected many times since then, in different areas of my life. But that was kind of the first real, that, when you have those hit to the core, hit to the heart, just, yeah, feel like your heart just twisting up, and you know what I mean. You just feel, yeah. It was one of those. It was just one of those moments that stayed with me for the rest of my life. Um, but I've moved on, fortunately, since then, and I look at things differently than in that moment. But I'm sure all of you watching afterwards would have been rejected at some point. I think the key thing I want to say, at the end of the day, I'm still here, I'm still breathing. Yeah. I know what psychologically things can affect people. I'm not discounting that at all. For what I'm saying, I've moved on, and we need to learn how to deal with rejection. I think it's one of the things we need to teach our children is rejection will come, just like hard times will come. Rejection will come, and how to deal with it. She wasn't. I'm trying to take what lessons going to take. She wasn't rejecting me personally. She might not. She because I was so shy. She probably didn't even know all of me. And obviously, being shy as well, a lot of it was linked to how I looked physically. I wasn't confident in myself. Now, to a point, I don't care. So you come up, see, look at me all rough and shaven, unshaven, and all the rest of it. And also being married and being a partner who loves me for who I am, helps with that. But also, I've learned to realize when you're, even if you don't think you're physically attractive, your personality, your attitude can bring out an attractiveness in you. Like my wife, when I at first ever saw her, I was not physically attracted to her, but things changed and I got to know her, and she's beautiful. I'm saying she was beautiful, but I just wasn't attracted to her. And I remember there was this one girl I liked in my teenager years that didn't like her physically, didn't like her, but I had a conversation when I got to know her, and from there I liked her. So for those who are not sure about your looks and what have you, they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So one man's what doesn't think, or one person doesn't think it's beautiful is beautiful to another. That's why art is such a, for me, is such a funny thing. It's all about one person's opinion. If you want to put value or monetary to an art, one well-known artist can do the same picture as a lesser well-known artist, and if that well-known artist is perceived to be an artist, or people see him a certain way, they will pay millions of pounds for something that to another person it's just something they've done. So I think art for me kind of exemplifies what I'm saying. Is I know my uncle's is a bit of an artist, and he did a painting once. It's just like some paint lines going across a white piece of canvas, and I've seen things like that by other artists which have sold for a lot of money. Who was that artist who did the cow? Turner? No, I can't remember his name. Cut a cow in half or something like that. He earned a lot of money from it. There was one, is it Tracy Emin done an art show or something where it's just like a messed up bed, and she said it was this and that. I'm not discounting what they're saying. All I'm saying to me, it just looked like something I could have done. Maybe there's an artist in all of us, but what I'm saying, someone's prepared to pay a lot of money. But that goes on a whole other subject. Similar subject about value, how you value yourself. People tend to, and I've heard a lot of people say about this, people tend to put less of a value of something that is free than when something is paid for, and obviously doing these Facebook lives, getting into the personal development world, the public speaking. I've heard a lot of coaches saying that when they put up their prices, two things: one, it puts up the time wasters, and two, it gives them more time, more value, so they can spend more quality time with their clients, rather than serving hundreds and hundreds of people. And we all got 24 hours in a day. They can have a select few and still earn the money they need to eat and live and what have you. So value, I'll probably do a video of this at some point. Value is such a such a funny thing. So I've completely lost my train of thought, as I usually do. But anyway, so yeah, that rejection. Got to try and pick up this thought somewhere. The rejection I faced, yeah, she probably didn't know me. I probably wasn't shown. I may have been more attractive. Bearing in mind I was about 9, so I may have been more attractive to her if I was living myself to my full. If I knew myself, if I was confident in myself. So confident to the case where if she didn't like me, it wasn't the end of the world. It's just one of those things, and we move on, and we can still be friends, whatever. But because also I didn't love myself, so unsure of myself, it just the question. If any of you people who are shy or have been shy will probably have asked this question at some point: what's wrong with me? And when that rejection came, it just further echoed to me, oh, there must be something wrong with me. What's wrong with me? And then it just further that cycle I had. Oh, there must be something wrong with me. I'm quiet and blah blah blah. Why am I not like this person? Why am I not like that person? But the thing is, you can't fail at being you. There's only one of you out there. Yes, we all do similar things. There's the majority, and yes, but there's only one of you. So make the best of you that you want to be. There's no one on the earth like me. There's no one that can speak like me. There's no one that can do these Facebook lives like me. I can speak on the same subject as someone else, but can bring a completely different flavour to it. Attract. We can have two same audiences talk about the same subject, probably even use the same words, but some will be drawn to me and some will be drawn to the next person, and that's just the way it is. Because we're all different, we all see things in different people. First impressions, some people will hear me speak, and before I've even opened up their mouth, they've made up their mind before me. Could be in a positive sense, could be in a negative sense. If it's in a negative sense, it doesn't even matter what I say. If they've made up their mind about me, if I don't like him, for whatever reason, he looks arrogant, he looks this, he looks that, doesn't matter what comes out of my mouth, they're not going to hear it because they've already made up their mind about it. Is that my fault? I believe not. If I'm coming with a humble heart and I've come to serve, people don't always see that. They look what's on the outside. I may wear a particular, I don't know, colour suit. It might be say for example, I wore an orange suit. What are people going to think? I know what I would think. I think, oh, he's flashy. Just because of the colour of the suit I'm wearing. And because he's flashy and I'm not flashy, or who does he think he is? I don't want to hear what he's saying. I don't want to hear what she's saying. So there's only so much you can control within and outside what you wear. The rest is up to other people. Yes, if you want to portray a certain image and brand, there's things that you can do, but there's only so much. There's only so much you can do. You can't control other people's fault. And the other thing is, you don't know where these other people, what the history they had, how they've been brought up, what values they have. There's so many different variables. So many different variables. So you can only control you. You can have influence over others. Don't get me wrong. You can be leader and inspire others, because the majority of people are looking for leaders. They're looking for people because you're taking a step up, and these leaders need more. I mean, being a Christian and that, obviously pastors, priests, they're seen as being higher up, but they need my prayers. They need prayers more So I say more so, but they need, because they're putting themselves out there in the society. The way we live is that obviously the leaders, there's less leaders than followers. Rightly or wrongly, that's just the way it is at the moment. Things can change, but there's more leaders than followers. So being a leader, people see it as someone stepping out, and when you step out, when you come out the boat, there could be sharks around. You can get eaten. You can get bits torn off you. So leaders in some cases need more support than the people who are not stepping out, because they're putting themselves out there. They're putting themselves out on a pillar. And what can happen to a pillar? A pillar can be knocked down. And I've avoided, in my working life, I've avoided stepping out as a leader. I played it safe. Just some food for thought there. So we can only control so much of what's inside of us, and yes, to close and to degree branding and all the rest of it, what image we want to portray, public relations, whatever. But you can't, ultimately, you can't control the minds of others. And part of me having my shyness in that, I wanted to be accepted. I needed to accept myself first, but I was seeking acceptance from others. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be liked by everyone to make me feel good. But we're never going to be liked by everyone. We can't be liked by everyone. You can't have a relationship with every girl you meet or every boy you meet or what have you, because some people are supposed to be friends. Some people in a relationship, where I'm from, my background, my culture, whatever, I have one wife, no more. So do you know what I mean? You can't have those types of relationships with everyone. So sometimes, and things in life you have to test. You get in a relationship, you start dating, you see how you get on. Ultimately, if things go well, what I believe is the ultimate destination is marriage. But even after marriage, you have to continue working and working and working. So not necessarily the first person you go out with is the person you're going to get married to. Sometimes you find out you're not compatible with one another. My last partner before my wife now, I had thoughts of marriage to her. I never proposed to her. I had thoughts of marriage to her, but that didn't work out. And if you want to find out more reasons why, you need to watch my last videos. Too much to get into now. So not all relationships, in terms of man and wife and whatever, husband and wife, go down that way. And at the end of the day, me being 9 or 10, whatever, she didn't want to be with me. That was absolutely fine. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me. It's just it wasn't meant to be. So rejection, rejection. What lessons can you draw from it? Hopefully you learn more from me talking about my situation and what I can actually draw from it. But yeah, rejection, it's going to happen. You're not going to go through life without being rejected. We need to teach our kids that. We need to educate ourselves about that, how to deal with rejection. Again, another thing, I'm passionate about education and teaching soft skills, teaching life skills. Do they really teach in schools about rejection, how to deal with rejection, how to deal with criticism? I don't believe they do. It's not equipped to how to deal with that. So when it comes, we've got some understanding of it. So rejection will happen. So what do you take from it? In some cases, you can't take it personally. You can't take it, especially for me, hiding behind myself as much as possible. This girl don't even know. She probably didn't know the half of me. She didn't really know. I don't really know myself. So how could she know me? So what was she rejecting, really? Only what I put across, which wasn't a lot. So she wasn't even. You can say she wasn't rejecting the real me. And if she did know me, and she rejected me, then so what? We move on. Rejection can sometimes be a good thing. job interview, you might get rejected for a job. Further down the line, you may look back and think, oh, if I got that job, I wouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z. So rejection is not always a bad thing. I remember in my current role where I am now, I applied, I think, 3 times to work in the finance department. And the first time I applied for the job, I thought I was ready. Ultimately, I weren't, but I thought I was ready. I got rejected, had a second interview, got rejected again, went for it a third time. But in that third time, I'd been working at the company for a little while, and I could show them the progress I made from the first interview to the third interview, and I was more confident myself. Wanted the feedback. Again, rejection, in some cases you can take feedback, not necessarily when in the situation I was talking about, being rejected by this girl. Oh, sorry, Lucia, you said you really liked that girl that you quit. Have what to speak about? Can you expand on that? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but I'm interested by that comment. But I don't quite understand what you mean. Do you mind just expanding on what you mean, so I can comment on it? Yeah, I wasn't going to ask that girl why don't you. Sometimes we do that. So why don't you like me? It's like, oh, I don't like you because I don't know, your teeth are wonky. And then sometimes you think, oh, okay, if I correct my teeth, then maybe she'll like me. Oh, I don't like you because of this, that, and the other. It's like that film Grease, when John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, the characters, and he's kind of like, he's with one crowd who are perceived in one way, his gang, and she's like the goody goody two shoes girl, and they meet. For those who don't know the story, they have a summer romance in different. They're in a different place, environment, and then he goes back to the school, college, back to who he is or how he's seen by others, how he should fit in. And she comes to the school, and she tries to pick up where they left off, and because they're in 2 different classes, in terms of, when I say classes, like middle class, lower class, but they're 2 different kind of characters, and the majority think they shouldn't mix together. And then at the end, she changes herself to be more like his crowd, and then he changes to be more like her crowd, and then they have that big song at the end or what have you. But that's, yeah, there's some lessons to be taken about that, about trying to change yourself for another person. What can happen, and if you try to change yourself too much, especially from what's you, sometimes sometimes change would be a good thing. Like, if I was still shy now, I wouldn't be doing this video. I wouldn't be making the progress I made. I say sometimes my shyness crippled me, stopped me from moving forwards. So that change is good, but some changes is not good, especially when the reason you're doing it is just to please another person. It's not always a good thing. And I'm talking about subjects where I can go off on some mad tangents. It's best left to future Facebook Lives, not necessarily for me to do. But I'm saying there's subjects in their own right, change or what have you. But yeah, me asking this girl what was wrong with me and her, she gave me a list. I probably at that time would have said, I don't know what I would have done, but maybe I would have tried to tick box and then, oh, now will you like me, and blah blah blah. And that's not what it's all about. Be confident in yourself, and you will draw people to you. If you're confident in your own skin, you will become more attractive than you think you are to yourself and what you can do. I've always been quite keen on fitness and stuff. With that shyness, I've always tried to change what I can change. So taking care of my body, looking after myself, having the best body I can. Things have changed, things have moved on. That's not necessarily the case now. I need to work on that again, but that's more. I like looking good in terms of my body, and I like feeling good as well. So it's twofold. So you can change what you can, but there's some things you can't change. There's some things you can't change. And if you make the best of yourself, if you work more on your inside here than you do on your outside appearance, you will be a beautiful person. There's some people who may not be physically the definition of physique, but because they've got such a big personality, people are drawn to them. People will be drawn more to your personality than your physical looks. It's something I've learned. I look at myself now, and I accept who I am. I like who I am, whereas my physical, like my face and stuff. But it's a lot because I'm a lot more confident now, and it's funny. It's like sometimes you look at yourself in mirror to them. Sometimes you look in one mirror and you think, wow, I look good. Lighting's right, everything's right. You look at yourself in a different mirror. It's like photos as well. It's like photos. Why do you think people Photoshop and all that stuff now? You know, like the way they look, or they want to make themselves look the best themselves. One picture you can look fantastic, the other picture you can think, ugh, who's that? Can look completely different. It's like when people probably have these on these dating sites. They see a picture of someone, and then they meet them, and the picture don't look the same. It don't look the same. And then ladies, obviously now with wearing your makeup, it's like sometimes you're putting a different face yourself. I want to see the person behind the makeup. I want to see what they look like without that mask. That's the true beauty. Makeup should enhance your looks, not change your looks. That's just my personal opinion. So I think I saw something with Alicia Keys. Apparently, I don't know how true the story is or not. She started going out like in public without her makeup, and people were being criticising her and blah blah blah. I say, big up to her. More people should be doing that. And it's sad as we get older, or ladies get older, and that peer pressure and everything. You hear the comment, "Oh, I can't go out with my makeup. Go to the shop. I can't go out to the shop." What are you talking about? Who has conditioned you to think like that? That you can't go out without putting something artificial on your face? It's nonsense. It's nonsense, and furthermore, it's sad. It is sad. I hate when girlfriends are gone out of the past and have said that. It breaks my heart to hear people say that you can't go out because you feel that insecure that you can't go out with applying makeup. I remember there's I don't know if you guys remember the show called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith, but because he was famous then, but obviously now he's on a different level. But his show he did was The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and there was one episode. He was always the woman chasing that. There was one episode, I can't remember how it went, but the scene was basically he like touched a woman's hair, and then her weave came off, and then like touched the eyebrows. Basically everything, everything about it was fake. I'll have to try and dig out the clip or something. But yeah, it was a really funny clip. Basically everything about her was fake. And nowadays in this world, you can get new breasts, you can get new this, you can pump your lips, you can do all that, blah blah blah, this and that. So you can go to some extreme with this, but yeah, just there's beauty with you. God did design you with a makeup bag in your hand, ready to slap it on or whatever. We are all unique, and what is beauty anyway? Again, another subject you can go off. What I see as beautiful will be someone else's, could be completely different, and what we define as beauty, or do you know what I mean? Disability. What Nana calls, I love the way he puts it, unique ability. Maybe our way of thinking is we've got it all twisted. Maybe I'm going to put this in speech marks. Maybe the normal ones are the ones that have got the disability. You see, the people who've got dyslexia and stuff, they have to find they need to learn, because people with dyslexia and stuff like that, especially the ones that have had it identified, a lot of them are very creative in finding ways of getting around the fact that they can't read or they can't understand what is being written. And some of the most people who have made the most impact on a global basis are dyslexic. And then you've got normal people who are just doing the normal stuff, 9 to 5 job, then there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5 job if that's what you want. But a lot of people don't want that. They're falling into that, and they feel like they're trapped. Now you tell me who's got the disability, who has got who's. Do you know what I mean? The way we look at stuff, it's kind of all messed up. And as advanced as the human race is, I think sometimes we're very stupid. Wonders have been made technology-wise. Me doing this on a Facebook, on a mobile phone, it's years, but no one would have seen this. But people go hungry every day. Now, any one of you disagree with me? Is there enough? Is there not enough food in this world? Is there not enough money in this world? So why are there still people going hungry? Why are there still people going without water? Because we're stupid. As a human nation, we're stupid. How are we letting people? Why are we having people having to advertise charities, showing distressing images of people to trigger our hearts to give money? There's enough money in this world. There's enough wealth in this world. And yeah, you can go down to conspiracy theories and all the rest of it. I'm not doing that tonight. I'm just saying on a basic black and white level, there should be no reason why anyone goes hungry. When supermarkets, when cafes, when restaurants are throwing out perfectly good food, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. Right, Lucia, thank you. Let's see if I can make some sense of what you're saying now. It was quite, hold on. It was quite many. You like that girl very, very much. Good night, David. Need to learn from your long face. Thank you, Lucia. I did like that girl. Yeah, I like it. I say love, but love. You know what I mean, in the English language, the word love, in different languages, there's 5 meanings for love, and even in the Bible, it talks about. And I don't remember them all. I should do because it was the priest talked about it at our wedding. But there's one love called agape love, which is sacrificial love. So it's doing something when you don't feel like doing it, you put others first instead of yourself, and that's different from the lovey-dovey. I'm in love. I love this girl. Blah blah blah. We just got together. So the English language doesn't really quite cover the different meanings of love. There's so many different aspects of love we've just put into four letters. So when we say I love watching TV, I love my wife, shouldn't mean the same thing. If it does, then you maybe need to reevaluate your love. So yeah, I really, really like that girl. You're right, Lucia. I'm glad that's come across in this video. And it was a heartbreaker for me. It was a heartbreaker. I don't know how she feels about it. Obviously, she's coming from a different angle. But yeah, it was one of those. There's a word I'm going to throw out here, and I'm going to expand on it another phrase. Kairos. I think it's a Greek word. It was a Kairos. It was a moment when time stopped for me, and a significant moment in my life. But I will do a further video on Kairos because I love the sound of that word, and I like its meaning. So I'll cover that in another video. So yeah, rejection. There's probably more lessons, probably a list of 5 things I could draw out from that, but I'm not. I'm just take it for yourself. Rejection. The main thing I want to say, rejection is something we all have to deal with it. We all have to deal with it. You see it on, some people have made money out of rejecting people, entertainment, X Factor and all those talent shows and all the rest of it. In the very early days, Mr. Cowell, whether he was doing it to make a name for himself, I don't know. Used to take very, very, very damaging comments, very damaging words to people, and we sit back and think, oh, this is entertaining. I think there's a lady, Alexandra Burke, who went on X Factor before, and she got rejected, and she came back, I think the next year or the next few years, and she won. I'm not going to talk about lessons that can be learned from that, but there is a lesson to be learned from that. So there it is. There it is. Three-parter relationships. First part, relationship with my father, or lack of relationship with my father. Relationship part two was about breakups. Relationships part three, bringing it to right now, it's about rejection. All different aspects of relationships. Very three significant relationships in my life. And I hope through this series you've got to find out a bit more about me. Why I'm sharing these messages is I'm not one of these people who will comment on every little thing I do on Facebook to seek validation, to seek acceptance. This is why some people do this stuff. Don't feel I'm sharing this so that you may learn and take value from it. So that it's education. It's educational. I'm not sharing this for the fun of it. Sharing it so you can identify. Think, okay, I can relate to that somehow. But I'm using the tool, the power of social media to reach out to those people and take lessons from it and see what you can derive from it. It's the only reason I'm doing it, because those three different relationships were very painful for me, and I'm trying to use that pain to help others so that they may not go through the same thing or some of the same issues, or just to know that I've had my pains and I can move on past that. So that's it. Final Facebook Live for the week. I'll take a break on the weekend. It's actually my son's having his 5th birthday party over the weekend, and it's his birthday on Monday. And then next week, hitting it hard, the ground running again. God willing, I'm still around. Next week, provided I don't fall asleep 5 nights in a row. At some point, I'll be hitting my 50th Facebook Live, which will be a momentous moment. I mean, all my Facebook Lives are momentous moments. But again, we draw something around 50th, 100th, 55. You know what I mean, the 5s and 10s. So yeah, I'll be talking about the 50th Facebook Live, and I've been thinking about most of these ones. I kind of do off the cuff, but I've been putting some thought into that one, and I think I'm going to cover it. Yeah, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to wait. I'm going to let you. It's going to be a bit of an interesting one with my natural desires for excellence. I'm going to, yeah. Michael Jordan would once put as successful as Michael Jordan is and was, he came out with a very famous quote, which kind of looked at things in a different way, and that's your only clue. What angle I'm going to come at it from. So, if you like what you see, actually, I was watching Warren Ryan's live video and Nana's live video, and I actually found that I think at your bottom left there's a box that says share, and oh, it's here, my one. Yeah, and you can invite friends. I haven't done it. I don't know if you can invite them so they get a notification of how it works. So if you ever watch one of my live videos and you think, okay, I'm not speaking to you, or I'm speaking to you, but I know someone else who will really benefit from what he's saying, then yeah, try that. I don't know if you use it. Try out that feature. Just press share and then invite friends. Let's see what happens. Try it out. See what happens. So this is me, David Daniels, aka the Shy Man, out for the week. Have a wicked, blessed weekend. I mean that. Enjoy your rest if you're resting. If you're working, work to the best of your ability. Love you and leave you. Thank you so much for all these comments, all these likes. They mean so much to me. People talk about setting goals and stuff, and I try and set my goals on a yearly basis. And I haven't looked at them for a while, but I don't actually think doing 50 Facebook Lives or near 40 odd Facebook Lives was one of them. But this has had a significant impact on my life. If I do nothing else, I know I've added value, and that means it's inspiring to me. I've been searching for years to find something that really is different. It's again, it's not the 9 to 5 or whatever, and I've found it with this, and I'm just, yeah, it's changed my life. That's how I can put it. It's changed my life. and there's more to come. So love you all, and I will see you, God willing, on Monday for another Seeds of Wisdom, hopefully a bit earlier. Alright, watch this up on the replay. This will be on YouTube soon. I think this will post to Twitter. Still getting to grips with Twitter, so yeah, I'm out.